Was at the bank to replace a lost debit card when the teller asked a question that ended my marriage. Sir, you have a recurring royalty deposit under your name. Would you like me to link it to your new card? I stared at her. What royalty deposit? She turned the monitor slightly. There it was, attached to a secondary card I had never seen before. A quarterly deposit of $320,000. The ledger went back 5 years. 20 deposits, $6.4 million. For a moment, the bank lobby went silent around me. I could still see my wife, Lauren, standing in my lab 5 years earlier with a stack of incorporation papers in her arms. You only know technology, she had said, smiling as she tapped the signature lines. Let me handle the business side. At the time, I was living on cold coffee and 18-hour design sessions. I barely read the documents. I trusted my wife. I signed where she pointed. After that, I became a special technical consultant at the company built on my own hardware designs. Lauren handled the finances. Lauren handled clients. Lauren handled licensing. Whenever I asked how Vesper Technologies was doing, she kissed my cheek and said, barely scraping by. Don't worry your brilliant little head about it. Every month, she gave me $1,200 for personal expenses and told me we had to be careful. Now I was looking at $320,000 every 3 months, quietly deposited under my name into an account I did not control. I took one slow breath, link it to my new card, I told the teller, and route every future deposit directly into my personal checking account. 5 minutes later, it was done. By 7 that evening, I was standing in Lauren's home office, opening her laptop. It took 3 tries to guess the password. Her birthday. She had never been as careful as she thought. The emails told the story better than she ever could. 7 major licensing agreements, all based on my hardware designs, all signed through Vesper Technologies. The contracts called my patents company assets, but the signature line belonged to Lauren Evans, not me. I kept scrolling and found the second story, Kevin West. At first, his messages were professional. Licensing fees, foreign clients, investor introductions. Then they became warmer, then intimate. I found photos from Paris, Singapore, Dubai, Lauren leaning against him in hotel bars, her hand on his chest, smiling in a way she had not smiled at me in years. Every trip she had called investor relations had a different backdrop and the same man. 5 years of stolen work, 2 years of adultery, and all I had received was a monthly allowance and a pat on the shoulder. At 2 a.m., someone pounded on the front door hard enough to shake the frame. Lauren stood under the porch light, mascara smudged, hair wild from the airport. Larry, are you insane? She pushed past me and grabbed my shirt. Why did you touch that account? Do you have any idea what you've done? I looked at her hands on my collar. I was about to ask you the same thing. For half a second, fear crossed her face. Then she stepped back and rebuilt herself. It's operating capital, she said. You can't freeze Vesper's money because you got emotional. A royalty deposit under my name is operating capital? Her mouth tightened. So you went through my laptop? Yes. Lauren walked to the sofa, pulled a slim silver case from her purse, and lit a cigarette. In 5 years of marriage, I had never seen her smoke. Fine, she said. Kevin and I have been together for 2 years. She said it like she was reporting the weather. You were comfortable, Larry. You had your lab, your books, your little routine. Why blow up a system that worked? Worked for whom? For everyone who understood their role. That was the first time she stopped pretending. She told me the licensing agreements were executed under Vesper's corporate seal. She told me the money belonged to the company. She told me I had signed the paperwork years ago. Then she looked at me with something almost like pity. You're an engineer. You understand circuits, not corporate law. Don't embarrass yourself. The